I forgot to add us during the video. What's up, everybody? Hey, look, I have hair that's a different color. Those guys who are curious or interested, the patrons on our Patreon got to vote what color combination. I dyed my hair, and it was black and red. It's a little hard to see because my room is dark, but it's red underneath and black like on top, and there's a little bit of red in the front.
Yeah,
so
looks good.
Thank you, sir. Thank you. I did it all myself. And for those who are wondering, wanting to see, I did record it, and the patrons got to see it already. But the rest of you get to see it tonight. Thank you, Sewong. The rest of you can see it tonight. It's a hot fire hot from your mama. Shush. Oh, shucks. The rest of you can see it tonight on the YouTube channel at 9 p.m. Pacific, where the video gets uploaded for the rest of you to see.
One of the advantages of being a Patreon member is getting to vote on stuff like that.
Yeah, next is going to be challenges like, do you want Metso to wax her eyebrows, or do you want her to have a blind baby food taste test?
Oh my god. And,
stuff like that.
I told you, if we need to be, I am open for challenges as well.
Yes. I'm going to decide like the full possibilities.
All
right. Well, good evening, Graveyard and Sewong. Welcome in. Good to see your names.
Sewong, did you head down to LA this weekend? For LA Con, Sewong goes to all the big cons, so I'm not sure if he actually went down to LA.
I don't know. I can't remember if he did.
I know he was at the San Francisco one last weekend.
No worries. No worries, Graveyard. I tried to really mouth that. He did not go, he said.
Oh, okay. Okay, I just kind of figured he's all over the place.
All over.
Hey, and I want to say, too, I would have to say, of all the theme songs that you've had, because I don't know how many people actually notice, like, that the songs and the little changes that Metso works on and does all the time. But this is my favorite of all the theme songs you've had so far.
Oh, well, I might have to just keep that one then. One had a few friends that went. Yes. Our friends at Distance Nerding went.
Our friends at Distance Nerding went, and our special guest tonight is there right now, sitting in a car waiting for us to babble.
Yeah, babble. You were so silly. Oh, how was your week, sir? Let's catch up.
My week, I think, was pretty good. I was at the shop today. I didn't have a con yesterday, but I have one. We'll be at Collectible Stampede next weekend in Woodland. There will be wrestlers again there. And then the weekend after that, there's a brand new Funko Pop store opening in the outlet stores.
Oh, nice.
Yeah, and I guess they're doing.
I will resist.
Yeah. Do you know? Well,
I've only had my one, and it's precious to me.
We have we're gonna be there at their grand opening, I guess, doing a little pop-up tent thing or whatever. So
maybe I'll be there and then just not look. So the reason I've never gotten a Funko Pop is I'm scared that once I buy one, it's gonna be like people who get tattoos, like once you get one, you can't stop kind of a thing.
It's like crack.
Yeah, and I've got one as a gift, and that one's extremely special to me. Thank you, Eric Boss. Right. But it's the one of those bigger ones too. So I'm like scared that I'll want to spend money on that when I need a new phone. So I'm like, don't.
My very first pop was a gift, and I'm like 250 pops in. So it happens.
That's so funny. All right, guys.
Speaking of toys and fun stuff, do you have some nerdy news for us?
Yes, I do.
Hey, John.
Hello, John. Did you know that crack in Ireland, the word crack means fun? CRAIC, I think is how you say it.
Wow.
Irish friends. So,
what's up?
Hi, Barbara. How are you?
Yeah, that was Jason that started me on my first pop, and it's been
boy,
no bueno since then.
Yeah, I know I watched someone on TikTok. His name is oh gosh, I forgot his Geeky Christian or something like that. His name is Jake. He basically has like walls of Funko Pops, and I'm just kind of like, what? They're cool. I have a mini. I think actually. Anyway, all right. So the nerdy news first.
Nerdy news.
That is not the correct one. Where is my nerdy news? I don't have my nerdy news. I'm going to fix that, and we'll do nerdy news right after the interview.
All right, well, I guess we're
I'm
stepping
not
things up a
good
little
enough.
bit.
Gosh,
All right, well, do
darn
we
it.
have a flow this week?
We do have a flow, and you'll see that I pause it at the beginning of the episode. The video. Gosh. So James Kaiser is our awesome producer who brings us a flow every week. And this week, this is how I'm feeling inside. This week, our flow is Philippe Ducasse. I'm not sure exactly how to pronounce it, but it's really kind of cool. He does some contact staff stuff, and he has the most amazing control with his feet. So that's just a hint of what you'll see. Take a look.
I guess he's popular.
That was cool, right?
Wow.
Like for someone who's had multiple foot surgeries to watch like his foot just like it almost looked like it was rippling.
Yeah. It was
and
like
then it
finger
was
toes.
spinning. I was just like, wow, like cool.
That is absolutely amazing. And aside, like soccer or like hack and sack, I can't really think of many other things that, use your feet like that. That is amazing. I don't think we've had any artists do flow with their feet.
No, I don't think we have. Not since I joined, at least.
Yeah.
So thank you, James Kaiser, for bringing that to us. And guys, don't forget about the nerdy news. I will have it for you right after the interview. I will get that sorted.
Okay. Well, I guess we're going into the
we have our interview is next, isn't it?
Woohoo!
You want to talk about
let's do it. This next guest, if you have watched this show at all, and especially if you've been following this from the beginning, you will know that this gentleman used to be one of the regular hosts on this show. So when this show first started, I would do interviews one week, and then he would do interviews the next week, and we just went back and forth like that for a while. This gentleman is, when I entered the Saber industry, this was one of the first people that I was introduced to, and I can tell you right now is probably one of the closest friends that I have now. I've been out to stay with him and his lovely wife a few times, and in fact, one time they even hosted a tournament for Kyber Cave and for a bunch of Arizona Saber squads to come out. They opened up their facility and allowed us to have a tournament in their kind of like back area, and it was out on public access. It was super cool. Love this guy to death. This man, if you've been to any con, I guarantee if you have seen his product, it automatically sticks out. Even though there are other people that do the same thing that this gentleman does, you will always, and let me just give out the name. I feel like I'm just dancing around the name. You will always know a Gary Ripper product when you see a Ripper blade. When you go to cons, they automatically always stand out. And in fact, Stephen Wong, who won our costume contest for Kyber Cave 2, he actually had 2 Ripper blades on his sabers. So with no further ado, please give it up.
Without further ado, yeah, without I don't know. Go ahead.
Both.
Sorry.
Please give it up for Mr. Gary Ripper. Ow! Gary, what's going on, my man?
I'm good. Can you hear me?
I can hear you. You're a little bit echoier than you were when we were talking to you before.
I closed the door of the, let me see.
Oh, is that what
the door?
So can you hear me now?
Oh, yeah, that's perfect.
Okay, I have my radio on so I can hear it. I had my radio on.
So how are you doing? I know you guys you're down in LA right now, so you're taking time and jumped out in the car to talk to us. So I totally appreciate you doing that.
Oh, no problem. Right now, I'm actually out waiting for them. They're all cleaning up inside. I'm out by the car watching the stuff because as I told you a little bit earlier, we'll probably talk about it a little bit later. I had a little issue going on, so I can't really do no lifting or do nothing actually. So they're taking care of that.
It was kind of interesting when we were talking about that, and I don't know if that's something you want to talk about on here, or if that's more of a private issue or whatever. But I don't think sometimes people don't realize when they come and see a Gary Ripper booth at a con, they don't realize what it takes to get you there and how much loading you got to do. You're coming from another state. And then also you have incidents happen like what happened earlier. I don't know if you want to tell people about it or.
Well, I spoke to my man Van and him about earlier. Was that this weekend? We were on our way to the con. We had some helpers that we're going to have with us. We couldn't take at least 2 of them because I was on my way to pick those 2 up. It was about 4 a.m, and I was crossing an intersection, and I got blindsided by a big rig.
That's horrible.
So my truck is all jacked up, and I walked away with nothing but bumps and bruises. I'm very achy. I mean, my whole body hurts, but I'm alive.
I think you're a little more overcautious than I would be. I was actually concerned because you had said that you had blacked out and had moments where you woke up and then you didn't remember what had happened in that time period.
Yeah, all I remember is the door opening up. I remember seeing the freeway exit and the door opening up, and then blacking out, hugging my stepson, blacking out, and then being in an ambulance and blacking out, and then being in the hospital, and then after my my stepson-in-law came to see about me, and when he arrived is when I remember everything the most.
Right.
And I was fine when I got the car. I seemed like everything was normal, like nothing was wrong with me. But then the second I tried to sit up when I was at the hospital, I couldn't.
Wow. And that was all before the con even happened, right? When did that happen?
It was at 4 a.m. on Friday, just before the con happened. We were supposed to be on our way, leaving Friday to the con and get to our Airbnb like around noon or so. Mm-hmm. But we didn't leave until I went to the hospital. Everything was fine. And then I'm basically just all fucked up, like grunting and groaning. Now, we could either stay home and lose significant amount of money we spent to get to this con.
Right.
Not to mention the 200 sabers we had in the back of the car that were lost.
That's another thing that people don't even realize that kind of things. That you lost merchandise and 200 sabers. That's not like $10, dude. That's a lot of lightsabers. Significant chunk of change.
Yeah. And then so we're trying to investigate to find those, track those down now. So far, everybody's saying they don't exist. And we went to the side of the road and we found about 12 of them. So that's another thing we got to work out later down the road.
Wow.
But we made it to the con.
Couple of questions coming in really quick.
Yeah.
First off was I'll take the second one first, and then we'll go to the first one. The second one was, do you have insurance on that stuff? How does that kind of stuff work for people that don't know how it works for small businesses?
Well, V would know more about it than I would. She's
Yeah.
She's the one that has actual brain inside her head. I just have like colors and pictures and shit, and stuff. So she would know more about that. But you can't really rent a car without having insurance. So they either use your insurance on it, or they give you insurance you pay for,
right?
Or you can somehow use both.
I think
it was insured in some kind of manner.
I think they were. John was mostly asking about like your merchandise as opposed to
my merchandise. No, I don't think it was.
That's just a loss, right?
No, our merchandise was not insured.
Right. So that's just for you as a business owner. That's just lost money out of your pocket, right?
Yeah, and so we have to make that up. Either I gotta, come up with some kind of like special thing going on, or we just gotta try to hustle and use what we got, and then spend all our profits to try to start all over again.
Right. Wow.
And usually our profits usually go to the us we are trying to fix the shop.
Right.
So that's where usually that goes to. But right now we're not even worried about that. We're just worried about our merchandise, and we're grateful that I'm alive because they have about 5 memorials there at the spot where we're at. It's a dangerous intersection, so they say I did one thing, but the way the intersection is set up, it could have been a number of things because I don't remember. I can only go by what people would tell me. And if you're on the other side, you're gonna tell me what you want me to hear, so you can be on, you know what I mean. So it'll go in your favor.
Right.
It's really a he said she said kind of situation, but I can't remember shit. Nothing. Right. Sorry. I keep cursing. I'm a potty mouth. Yeah.
On to hopefully a little bit happier note here. A question came up from Say Wong was how was your fan expo?
It was very nice. We were over here at the LA Comic-Con.
Well, Fan Expo I think was San Francisco, right?
Oh yeah. Fan Expo was fun. Yeah, we did a good job. It was fine. We did a good job. The West Coast has a lot of love for Star Wars, and especially the Bay Area. And like V was saying last week, you see a lot more. You see a lot of 501st. You go to Albuquerque, you'll find a Darth Vader.
Right.
But mostly stormtroopers. You don't see too many Darth Vaders as you used to. But there's always a 501st. But usually they have Mandos and stormtroopers and stuff like that, and a few Imperial officers and stuff. But when you come to the Bay Area, you get a lot more. You get all the Sith stuff, but then you also get more Rebel stuff. You get pilots. You get Rebel pilots. You get more. Right. You get more Sith pilots. You get more Jedi. Period. You get a lot more love for the light and the dark.
Right.
Most people just go for the cool stuff that everybody's familiar with everywhere else, but the Bay Area seems to have a certain kind of love for everything. I mean, you see more biker scouts there than you see anywhere else. You see more variety of different troopers. You know what I mean? Right. I seen the troopers that were black and white that were in Solo there. You know what I mean? That kind of thing.
Right.
So you see things that you don't see anywhere else. Usually, tank troopers, all that kind of stuff. You see that in the Bay Area. I don't see that as much. From we go as far as we go to Albuquerque, we've been to Utah, and you don't see nothing like you don't see in California.
Right. The question says, are Ripper Blades partnered with Kyber Cave? Yes, we are partners. Yeah. In fact, and we do have a few Ripper Blades left at the Kyber Cave as well. So, hold on, sorry. You were saying, and I remember V saying this from last week, that the Bay Area is very heavy on the Star Wars and things like that. But now when you're traveling around the country, though, Ripper Blades goes so much further than just Star Wars. I mean, you have katana blades, you have a lot of Japanese style blades and stuff like that. What kind of response does Ripper Blades get from around the country? And give me just a quick second. I got to plug my computer in. Hold on. Go ahead and start. I'm going to be listening, but I got to plug this in.
Sure.
Go ahead.
For the most part, when we travel, we're BYO lightsabers, and we are usually like 100% lightsabers. We bring Ripper Blades with us, and sometimes we display them in certain cities. We know that we're either known or that people have asked for them. You know what I mean?
Right.
For the majority of the time, most Ripper blades that are made are already sold. And so when we get back into town, most of the Ripper blades I have either ready or getting ready to be done already belong to somebody or is going to belong to somebody.
Right.
Not too many sabers we have that we bring with us. You know, I may make some sabers that because we've been so busy, either they may have said, you know, oh man, I want a 7-inch stem. This is a 3-inch stem. So they send it back and we make another one and give them the right stem. So we may have some of those extras, you know, some things that either had a misunderstanding, because none of them are flawed. They're just like, you know, usually it's the stem that's different, or they may have had a wife tell them, my wife told me that I can't buy the saber, this lightsaber. So is it okay if I refund it? We're like, yeah, sure. And then B is very smart because sometimes she can damn near hear them during typing if they're doing this, you know, via I'm gonna do this real quick before my wife notices. And so she kind of like holds on to things for about a week or two before she can get that call, especially during Christmas time and stuff. They get a lot of that.
Right. So that's just a pattern.
Yeah. So most of our Ripper blades are still online, and what's going to happen with Ripper blades is that, especially this year, and especially after what happened, I have a whole different outlook on life and how things are done. Most of what you're known as average Ripper blade are going to be considered customs because of the time it takes for them to get out. So if you want a Ripper blade that's traditional, and even customs that are better, those are going to be considered to be like Ripper blades, you know, and that's going to be considered a custom. Now, what our standard blades are going to start being is what we consider now Ripper clones. I've improved the Ripper clones. I do a lot more beveling on them. They look really good. Veronica says they kind of look like old school Ripper blades. I'm like, yeah, they kind of do a little bit, except for the etching is a lot better. But the beveling, I actually add a little more beveling. And the Ripper blades, I do even twice the beveling. So the Ripper blades are even closer to more like a sword than they used to be. I take off a lot of material. It's a lot more work. And then even in the clones, I do more work on the clones because I still got to be better than my competition. No matter what I do, I got to always amp my game up no matter how much. And so those are what we're going to be concentrating on. And we're going to build up the inventory for that. And we're going to have that be our main thing. And that's how Ripper Blade is going to come back live. And speaking of going live, I haven't gone live in over a year, mainly because I haven't been able to go live consistently.
Right.
So we don't want to go live.
Come on every Sunday night.
Right. And so we don't want to go live Sunday night and then go live on Saturday and then not go live again for like a week and then go live, you know, and you know, so we want to go back to some more consistency, and that would help us a lot more, you know, and get people more tuned in with more consistent washing and stuff. Oh yeah, my family's here. So and
so
BB,
what?
Come here. I have an interview. I want the world to meet my daughter real fast since she's here. Come here, BB. Since she's right here, I like to have her pop her head in. Come here, Pumpkin. Why don't you pop your head in? I'm on live. I want to introduce the world to you. This is my daughter, Double B. She's Harley Quinn today because her father's a Batman fan, and so she loves Batman too. There you go. That's Little Rip right there.
Hello, it's so good to see you.
Hi, it's nice to meet you too.
Say hi to the Saber community.
Hi, Saber community.
Get out of here. Go.
Make good choices.
You tell she's mine.
Oh, that's fantastic. And it's so good to have family around, especially with what happened this weekend.
It was a blessing that I got to see her this weekend. I know that she was worried. And then, you know, as I've said in the past, I'm glad that she was able to be here. And she hugged me really tight and it felt really good to see my little girl.
Well, we got a one comment that says your dad is awesome, and another one that says welcome. Hey, we got a couple of comments that are coming in. I want to address these. Matt says his comment was just LOTR, so I assume that means Lord of the Rings. And I'm guessing, I'm wondering if he's asking, do you make Lord of the Rings blades? Mezzo, can you bring up some of the pictures that you have of the Ripper blades? Wonderful. I figured we'd put some pictures up and we could talk about it for a second. Another question. I know the answer to this, but I'm going to let you tell the world. And the other question was: it sounds like you make each one by hand.
Yeah, each one is done by hand. Before at one time, V was cutting out the profile out of a paper template, and then she'll cut the profile out with a bandsaw, and then I would go from there. Now we have a CNC machine that cuts the profile out, but everything after that is still done by hand. I still have to shape and bevel the blade. I still have to do everything else behind it. So that including the NeoPixels.
Right.
You
can pull a picture off, Mets. I just wanted it up for a second for people to see the beautiful artwork.
Yeah, so we can do Lord of the Rings. Like people often ask us at the shows we're at, they're like, what can you get done? And there are often a lot of cosplayers who really want things to get done. And I basically tell them, other than anime size, which kind of makes things a little bit more difficult,
right.
I
Those
can do
big,
any
huge blades.
Any blade that you want to get done, I can get it done. Anything that you want, and we'll have to work out the size, because sometimes I try to go a little bit bigger for you, because if you're going to use it for a shelf queen, you're not going to be swinging it around. Maybe some size is okay. It all depends on what you want when it comes to like custom work. So, but we do have a lot of straight blades, and I'm going to do more straight blade designs, both on normal ripper blades and on NeoPixels. And so we're going to be doing a lot of straight blades and a lot of other things. And I actually have a blade right now. I'm going to be making this NeoPixel. It's going to be coming out pretty soon. That's going to be it wasn't. Although Wakanda just came out, people may see it because of Namor. You may think of the inspiration from that, but I've been wanting to make this blade for a long time, and the only way I want to make it is NeoPixel. And what it basically is I want to say it's an Aztec weapon, but it may be Mayan. I'm not sure. I gotta look it up again. But it's basically the profile looks like a baseball bat with they had obsidian coming out on each end.
Right.
So I'm basically going to make one of those. So it's going to be more culturally done, and I'm also going to do more weapons like that, more cultural weapons that I'm more interested in that I haven't done yet. Like there's a beautiful Filipino blades I really want to do. There's a lot of different designs out there that I really want to do that are culturally based. The Chinese curved sword I really want to do, because straight sword can be a lot of things, but there's a certain shape to these blades that I really enjoy. The Emperor's spearhead I want to improve on. So these are going to be kind of blades that are going to be on the Ripper blade site, and the prices are going to be up a little higher, and they're going to be done with a lot more care, because I'm not going to be rushing them to get them out for production. I'm going to be getting them done for the person that requested them. And then the other blades that are Ripper blade, clones, so to speak, are going to be our Ripper blades in some sense.
Right. And I want to go back a little bit, because there was a follow-up to the question about do you make your own? And then he said it still takes skill to get that CNC to cut right. I want to point out, I'm not sure how exactly your process is now, but I know you weren't using CNCs at all up until maybe, a year or two ago?
Yeah.
I mean, these were, when I say these are handmade, I mean, he was cutting the acrylic out of the big piece of, big piece of plastic, and then individually beveling each one. I remember when we first started talking, you had a saying that was like, every Ripper blade has been across your lap or something like that.
Yeah.
Every single one has been personally touched on by you. A lot of times I think people think they see your beautiful work and they think, oh, it's a factory with 10 guys in there, and they don't realize that no, it's Gary Ripper doing all this work himself.
It's just me and V. Like only thing that really benefits us is that we can get more blades out of the material with the CNC.
Right.
Like say we can get 4 before, now we can get like 6 out of the material. The profiles, I still do them all by hand the same way. In fact, even after it comes out of the CNC, I got to do a lot of sanding on the edges to make sure certain things are not jagged and whatever, get all the little tabs out and everything. Right. And then I have to go to the beveling, and I still got to do the beveling and then the polishing and the profiling. Sometimes needs to be fixed on certain blades, because even though it's done on CNC and there's more symmetry involved, sometimes people might request something like a 7/8 inch hilt, and so I have to trim down the stem, or I get a katana that may require a little bit more authenticity done to it, so I might have to do a lot more work, whether it be a paint job or whatever, trying to add that hamon to the blades, because most blades nowadays I try to add a hamon. So the process is still really intense. It's just that the very first step V doesn't have to do. I still do everything else like I always had to do, but now V has a break, and then now she can concentrate on doing things like, you know, answering questions, and she still has to do shipping. She still has to pack, and she does all the finishing work on the blade still too. So like, and the stems that are added, she blocks the light out in the stems. She makes sure that they're mounted a certain way. She checks my work, makes sure everything is right. She does all the finishing stuff, and then she packs them up and ships them out. And so it's basically just her and I. And we've had employees, some we didn't like the work ethic, or some just didn't have the same kind of like gusto that me and V have. Because sometimes we can't ask people to do the same thing sometimes. So we're trying to work that out too. Because sometimes me and V start at 6 o'clock. We're like, oh shit, it's 5 p.m. Time for lunch.
Right.
You know, so you know, it's like a totally different thing. So we are currently now, we have help right now. We have a guy. He's not someone that we can have at our shop, but we can call him whenever we need him for a lot of shows. His name is DJ. He's been around. He was a loyal customer that came around to the shows in Vegas. I mean, in the Phoenix area. And then one day he helped us out when we were really busy, and we realized how good of a hand he was. We got his number, and he's been there for us every time. And he's loading the truck right now with my wife and my daughter.
Wow. Speaking of which, I want to go way back. There was another question back here from Scott Fransden. Will you be coming to Salt Lake FanX in September, the third largest Comic-Con in America?
Oh, you know what? I would have to ask V, but if I know her, she either applied or we're there.
Right. I know when we talked to V last week,
then she doesn't know about it.
I know when we talked to V last week, she said that was really going to be your focus this year, was trying to get to as many cons as you guys could.
Yeah, because just like Ripper Blades, we did that when we first started Ripper Blades. We did a lot of cons, and that's how we learned we needed hilts. Mm-hmm. And we're going to be branding BYO lightsabers, and we want to make sure that V's face is known for BYO lightsabers. And another thing that we're doing is more niche type of thing. Like most new people that meet V nowadays don't know what her eyes look like. She always wears contacts now.
Right.
And so she either has red contacts, or she has these cat eye contacts, or her Sith contacts. Right. And we just got her some all blacking out your eye contacts. So she's going to always have contacts. There's going to be a lot of people who meet V for the first time and see her on videos, or not going to know what she actually looks like.
On a side note, if you need some contacts, let me know, because I got another guy who just closed the store, and he's got like tons of these contacts that he needs to get rid of.
Oh yeah, then let me know. Yeah, definitely. I'm gonna let you know now. Yeah, we need that number, because like it's gonna be her thing. It's gonna be her niche.
Oh, you know? Okay. Well, then I'll definitely pass you
for not having normal looking eyes.
That's dope. So tell me, how long now? It's so interesting because I talked to V last week about BYO, and of course I've known you with with Ripper Blades for the last 4.5 years. Kyber Cave has been open, but now how long has it been that Ripper Blades has been a thing? I know you started with hilts before you were doing the blades, but how long has the blades been kind of your focus?
Well, being legit, I want to say with V, we started doing Ripper Blades since 2015. And then prior to that, I would say I've been making blades and selling them since either about 2012, 2013, like consistently. Like I would go on Facebook and sell them. But I started selling my first one I sold like in 2012. So consistently since 2015.
Wow. 2015. So
like licensed and all that stuff, and logo and all that stuff since 2015. But prior to that, it was always Ripper Sabers, then Ripper Blades, and that was mostly given to me by people who bought my stuff.
Right. Now with V doing the BYO, does that change your thoughts on Ripper Blades, or does that give you more freedom to do what you want to do artistically, or what does this mean? Because before it was you and V both together working on Ripper Blades, but now that V is kind of doing the hilt side of it, does that mean that your designs in the future are going to change to kind of match what she's doing as well, or does that give you more artistic freedom? Well,
what's going to happen is that over time, actually, I'm I'm gonna design parts, basically Ripper Sabers. So I'm gonna design parts for BYO a lot more, and so there'll be more exclusive parts for BYO, and then V still does all the heavy lifting when it comes to Ripper blades and BYO. My job in BYO is more than anything is just making sure the relevance on certain cannons that she gets, I give her the background on the sabers, and when we're doing sales, I inform all the customers about what saber they're buying, and like say for instance, a lot of people don't know the difference between a Obi-Wan Episode 4 and Obi-Wan prequels.
Right.
A lot of people don't know the difference between the two, so that's my job. Everybody's green at some time, and everybody was beginning at some time. So I do that non-biasly and help
now
out.
I'm sure LGT has done it, but I know with TXQ, we've not only got the Obi-Wan Episode 4, but then you have the Obi-Wan TV series, which is the same thing, but it's just more weathered.
Yeah, the one that we have, it kind of where we have three of them. They have three of them too. They have Episode 4. They have Obi-Wan, and they have the prequels. So they have three different designs for the Obi-Wan, and then so when they come to customers to ask me that, and also there are a lot of customers who are like, "Hey, so why is this one 120 and that one's 500? What's the Can you like big tough guy tell me why it is?" And I just tell them, and then sometimes it's as simple as that. It's I try to give them analogy, like I say, think of this table having Pro Wings and Nikes and Jordans on the same table. That's the best way to say it. They're all shoes, I said, but some fit you better, some cost more because of the name, and then some are just here so you can afford them.
Well, I with your blades, I look at it the same way. I tell people with our sabers, when they ask, what's the difference between the $77 saber and the $200 saber? It's the amount of work that goes into it, right?
Yeah.
This one has a lot more material. You can see this one just looks like a tube with a couple of little cutouts in it, but this one, it has several different parts.
I tell them the same thing too, but sometimes you get like a deer in headlights look, and then when I use a shoe analogy, they kind of go, "Oh."
Right. Well,
it's like, and then they kind of like understand. They kind of like process it a little different in their head because they know that Nikes cost way more than a pair of Walmart shoes, but they look the same in some ways. But one is built a lot better than the other.
Right.
And so they kind of like they go, "Oh, okay," and then they're cool with it. And no one's ever really been upset or anal about the situation. It's crazy. It's raining right now, and they are loading the truck in the back right now. I feel so sorry for my family. I'm sitting in this cab. It's literally, it just started raining.
Oh no!
And then they're out there. They're literally in the back right now, loading up the truck, and I'm just like sitting in here
with the busted back.
Yeah, I haven't been able to do any work, and I never realized how bad I wanted to work in my life.
Right.
Oh yeah, just before I go, before I forget, this is one of the sabers that were saved right here.
Yeah.
And works just fine.
I have a feeling there's a lot of Caltrans people. You're going to be seeing it on the news tonight. They're going to show a Channel 7 chopper with a whole bunch of like 30 Caltrans workers with lightsaber battles going on in the middle of freeway. And you're going to be like, those are my sabers.
Yeah, I know. Out here, it's called Abbott, the Caltrans. It's Arizona something. First word is Abbott, is A. But it's their Caltrans out here. So yeah, so I'm thinking it might be. And now I think about it, I'm gonna call them Abbott and see what's going on because there's like 3 people we gotta try to get a hold of. But yeah, I am blessed today to be here alive, and what gets me excited is that it makes me excited about Ripper Blades. It makes me want to put more work into what I'm doing, and I'm also drawing a lot more. So I'm gonna be doing a lot more art pieces. And so one of the plans I have is I want to do an art book that has my blades in it, basically showing the blades as a part of the art book. Right. And then the other side of the page is artwork that I've made of me drawing some kind of character holding the blade.
Wow.
Like a ninja or a science, whatever the blade is meant to mimic. Right. I draw a character. Like if I like, for instance, the Master Sword, I would draw, links with a Ripper blade rather than a regular thing.
Well, that's what I was gonna say. Is a lot of people, and in a minute I'm gonna have Mez pull up that picture again. Not now, and I'll let you give you the cue, Mez. But a lot of people don't know, like, some of the specialty pieces you've made have just been absolutely amazing. You made we had one in our store, but you made a Spider-Man webbing blade design. I think you've made He-Man. Haven't you made the He-Man blade?
Yeah, we made every version of the He-Man blade.
Right. So you've made some incredible specialty one-off pieces that are absolutely gorgeous. The other thing that some people don't realize, Metz, can you bring that picture back up? On the left-hand side there, in the upper left, that is actually a round blade, right? Or is that a flat blade?
That's a round blade. That's actually a photon pink or photon red.
Beautiful, yeah. So now, what I was going to say is that a lot of, Barbara's saying Thundercats, a lot of people have seen your beautiful flat acrylic blades, but I think a lot of people are unaware that you make blades that you can actually fight with as well. And those are actually what were most popular over at Kyber Cave when we had our dojo area.
A lot of TSL members have bought those too, so they are battle ready. I usually have some round ones. I have like they have the Nebula. We have a version of them in round. Like we have a flat Nebula blade, but then we have a round Galaxy blade. You know what I mean? Mm-hmm. And we have all the we have colored NeoPixel blades too. We have two-tone colored NeoPixel blades. We have specialty NeoPixel blades where I make it look like it's flame. All kind of different things.
On the rounded blades too?
On the round blade, yeah.
Because I've only seen your NeoPixel in your flat blade, especially your Dark Saber designs in your flat blades. I hadn't seen NeoPixel in your round blades.
Well, for a while, like in the beginning, like we had a small run with Vader's Vault. Actually, for a while, we had some black NeoPixel blades there. They were round, and then we had another small run with Kaizen sabers. They had some NeoPixel blades. We actually had 4 designs with Kaizen. A while. They're all NeoPixel blades, and they were pretty much two-toned or color theme. Like they had one that's kind of like a Gwen Stacy, where it's black at the base, had a white blade, it had a little pink in it, and then at the very tip it had baby blue. So I kind of like resembled all the colors that Spider-Gwen had. Right. So they're all battle ready when they're tubes, whether it be NeoPixel or flat or non-NeoPixel in hilt. So we make round sabers too, so we need to put that back on the website too. All that's been taken off the website mainly so that people won't order them, so we can catch up with our inventory. Our backlog is pretty thick. Right. Fill out our backlog. Once our backlog is done, we're going to accept more of the customs, and then we're going to start designing more blades to go with the hilts that we can tell are the favorites that were sold here at BYO.
Wow, that is absolutely amazing. We're going to get ready here to wrap up in a minute or two. You have a question. The question says, do you use polycarbonate?
Yes. For the flat blades, we use acrylic.
Right,
flat blades get acrylic.
Right, but the fighting blades are polycarbonate.
Yes. The reason why I don't use polycarbonate is because, for one, polycarbonate doesn't weld very well. So it's not really good. It's not a clean weld. And then also, doesn't like light if it's solid. So light doesn't travel through polycarbonate that well. And acrylic is 200 times more clear than glass and even more clear than water. So the light travels through acrylic very clear and very smooth. So that's why I use acrylic for all my flat blades.
Right.
But polycarbonate like normal for all my round tube blades.
Right, for the ones that you would actually use to fight with.
Yeah, and normally those are clear, except for the cracked Inferno. But the clear blades are usually the stronger blades because they have no dye inside it to dilute the strength of the polycarbonate. Right. So anybody out there who's fighting with your saber, if you have a clear saber, just know that your clear saber is a lot stronger than the white blades. Even though we sell a lot of white blades, there's no problem with them. It's just that much stronger, and they have more UV protection in them.
Oh, wow. I didn't know that. That's good to know.
Yeah, polycarbonate only has about a 10-year UV protection, with the coating on it, and acrylic has about a 30 year.
Okay. So, as we're getting ready to wrap up here, Gary, what do you see as the future? What's gonna be the plan for Ripper Blade over the next couple of years?
Better and more elaborate blades. At some point, I want Ripper blades to be known for 100% just not just fun blades, but like the most beautiful blades you've ever seen. I want to make more blades like Sword Art Online, some stuff from Sword Art Online.
Right.
A lot more anime blades, even though they won't be big, but I want to create at least some of the effects. Like how you might buy a toy, and they have the sword for it, like for the Demon Slayer or something like that. It has a flame on there. I want to make blades that resemble that, so people who cosplay can have the most accurate weapon they can have, especially when it comes to light.
Beautiful. I am excited about that. I know your work is absolutely amazing. Like I said, when you see a Gary Ripper Blade product out on the floor, you can always tell right away. Another comment that I had made to you that I wanted to let some of the other viewers know. We were talking about the Dark Saber in particular, and how even with the company that I have, TXQ, we got our Dark Saber in, and just the very end of it, it's all black right at the end. So the light goes, we have the nice, beautiful NeoPixel and everything, but it stops like, that much off the end. And in fact, you are probably one of the only people I know that's actually been able to achieve that full light. The full light going all the way to the tip. And you know what? For some people, they probably think it's stupid, right? Like, who cares about like a little half inch? But when you see it, it makes a huge difference.
Yeah, it does. Especially when you're trying to do cosplay. Like if you're a Mandalorian and you're trying to take a picture with your saber,
right?
It makes a big difference. In fact, I haven't done it yet. I have a LGT NeoPixel one. Same issue. Tip doesn't light up. But what I plan on doing is ripperizing it.
Ooh.
So what I want to do is I want to bevel that one a lot more. I'm gonna sacrifice destroying it just so I can see how far I can go and making it more like a Ripper blade, making it beveled a little bit better. I'm gonna take all the paint they have on there off and then repaint it Ripper blade style and do what I got to do to it. And if my calculations are correct, I will be able to make those blades even light at the tip.
Ooh.
So I plan on being the one that you go to for even make that happen, no matter where it's built. So so the Disney ones have a little bit more issue because they're thinner plastic.
Right.
They're much thinner, more cheaper material because they have to do mass production. You know what I mean?
Right.
So those are the only ones I haven't gotten my hands on, but I've gotten permission from Corabanth to make blades and try to use his stems too. I just haven't got a chance to work on his blade to see how I can incorporate Ripper blades so they can be compatible with Corabanth's hilt.
Right.
We happens to live in Arizona, so we got to meet and talk to Corabanth when we're out there and visiting. So we want to make sure that we're going to try to make blades for him as well. And we're going to try to make the best blades that are out there, period. Even if you have one, we want to make it better.
Beautiful. Yeah, I can honestly tell you, when you see a Ripper blade, you know that is a Ripper blade. And there are a few other people out in the Saber community that makes blades, but for some reason, I don't know what it is, but you can just look at a Ripper blade, even if you've never seen that style before.
Right.
And it's just something about the quality of work that goes into it that you can always recognize Ripper blade. Stephen Wong, I just saw you had a picture with him. I'm guessing down in LA. He's been using the same Ripper blade for how many years now?
For quite a while.
And it still looks gorgeous.
And he gets new ones too. Like his Naginata is, I think, his newest one he has.
Mm-hmm.
And it's funny that you mentioned other builders. At LA, he was just being a customer. I don't know if you heard of Jay Blades. You see him often a lot in on Etsy and stuff. I ran across him before, and we kind of like had to go like hi, go high and by. He was with the 501st. He's a stormtrooper for 501st as well. He's doing more costumes now, he said, rather than blades. Mm-hmm. His costume work is really fucking good. I mean, really, really effing good. And but he said he may not do blades as much, but as a different bladesmith that I got to finally meet in person, I met before and give me now, just so the world knows, yeah, me and him are hella good. He was a really cool dude. He's looking good. And he had himself, he had one of the nicest little sabers he had on with him and stuff. He had a good conversation and took some pictures and gave him a hug and sent him about his way. So yeah, he's a pretty cool dude. So he's another bladesmith that's out there that I communicate with. that there's no bad blood at all because we're both making the dark saber. I mean, like,
right.
If he was making the
Everybody
katana, it's like,
wants
oh my
that
god, you
dark
can't make a
saber.
katana. You know, like I own Japan or something.
Right.
You know, so like, you know, it's not. He's not. We talked about that, and we were both on the same page about it. You know, and he's a very cool dude, and like I said, he's doing more costume work, and he does a really good job. I mean, I'm very impressed.
Right. Well, we are impressed with you, Mr. Gary.
No, we're impressed with you.
No, sir. We're impressed with you. We're gonna get ready and wrap up here. We're gonna get ready and wrap up this segment. I want to thank you so much for hanging out with us, especially under the circumstances with having your having that accident this weekend, and
me being where I am right now is a miracle as it is, and it's my pleasure, and I'm like head over heels to be able to do it.
Right.
I recognize the fact that I could be dead right now. I mean, like there's no doubt about it.
Right.
And I honestly can say the universe or God or whoever you believe in has tapped me on the shoulder a few times to let me know. So I need to pay attention to whatever gift that was been given to me and try to use it as best I can.
Right. Well, we are happy that you are, Gary, and we are happy that you're okay. Please give V and the rest of your family my love.
I surely will.
And we got to kick it again soon, man.
Yeah, we definitely got to.
you know you guys are always, when you just need a few days off, you're always welcome to come out here and come stay with me.
Thank you, man.
All right, Gary, that has been Gary Ripper. Thank you so much. You guys please be safe on your way home.
See ya, y'all.
All right, bye-bye.
Thanks, man.
I have no idea what just happened with the audio right there. I heard a little rim shot.
No, I will tell you.
Holy crap, you're really high.
I will tell you.
There you go.
Okay. So I think I forgot to put music to it.
I heard it just a little rim shot. Ting.
Yeah, at the bottom of StreamYard, I have this.
Right.
I have it there. And I was like, what the HE double hockey sticks? I'm just gonna click it. Yes, John, I'm very silly. And full disclosure, I had a rough couple of days in my head, and I was trying to make sure I stayed focused, but obviously that suffered.
Hey, we're making it through.
Because I hadn't had the nerd news ready and everything, and now this is Kevin, I promise this time I made sure I turned down the music, so that will be fine. But first, without much further ado,
are we doing the nerd news? Yeah!
Finally, I changed it so she looks like me.
Barbara says she loves the black and red.
Oh, thank you so much. I was very, very worried about it, Barbara, at first. And if you watched the video that comes out in an hour, I do address how I was kind of freaking out about it, because it is very scary when you have dark hair, especially too, when you're bleaching your hair by yourself. Sorry, Mike. By yourself.
Right.
I was by myself in my bathroom.
I just now noticed that your little picture, her
icon
is... Her hair is updated too.
I changed it. I was like, I'm gonna change her too. Okay, so first in the news. Mandalorian gets the March 1st release date for season 3. Woo-hoo! Very excited. I am really excited. I loved this show with so much of my heart. And actually it was very cute when I was looking for talk of the town. I did find a TikTok that I decided not to use for this, but it's Mando at Disneyland, the character that you see at Disney, walking up to a toddler dressed up as Grogu, and he just took Grogu, the baby toddler Grogu, just took his finger, and they just started walking together. And I was like, and the caption said #1 babysitter of the year. Thank you. Graveyard was with me in spirit. Goodness gracious. All right. So I'm very excited about this. I think it was originally supposed to be out earlier than March 1st, but I feel like, gosh, I feel like I never really expect anything to come out on the initial release date it's given anymore.
Right.
Because everything gets delayed so much due to COVID or just things taking longer or whatever. I just feel it almost feels like everything media Hollywood wise it's like catching up, trying to catch up to what COVID delayed for so long. So they're still trying to play catch up in a sense. Next in the news, the Guardians of the Galaxy Volume 3 trailer was released. Have you seen it yet?
Oh my gosh, dude! Even that trailer was almost a tearjerker for me. Some stuff is gonna go down in this last episode.
Definitely some stuff is gonna go down in this, and we also the day before this was released, we saw the holiday special too. Did you get to see that?
Yes, I did. Oh, that was so good.
It was so much better than I really expected. I wasn't sure really what to expect. I didn't really see I saw a trailer for it forever ago, and I was like, I don't remember what it was too much about. But
right.
And then I loved Mantis. I love the actress and her character, and I was so happy to get to see more of her.
Yeah, I actually
in her part.
After that, she became one of my favorite Guardians after that, just because you don't really, she was never really a fleshed out character. This is the first time. And having a little side story with her and Drax, who is another one that, doesn't really get a lot of screen time. I thought it was a great way to do it. I really enjoyed it.
Drax reminds me, moments I have where I'm either, there's moments where he's pissed off, or he's laughing, he's barking, laughing out loud. And it's so funny too, because he laughs the same way in any other movie I've seen him in when his character laughs. And so I was all I could do was giggle. And Kevin Bacon was hilarious. I absolutely adored him. So that was your nerdy news. Sorry for the delay. Wait, hang on. Wait, let me get it.
Barbara had said, and only because I was really excited. So really quickly for the miniature little, I don't know how much of a spoiler it is because it's been in the comic books. When you saw the scenes with Guardian of the Galaxy where Rocket hugs an otter, her name is Layla. She is from the comic books. She's not technically an otter, I found out, but Rocket's not technically a raccoon. So
that's why he doesn't like to be called raccoon.
That's right. And we'll find out.
I don't know. I actually don't know Rocket and Layla's story at all. So
yeah.
This is why I say I'm not a good geek. I've never really read the comics that much. I do have my Marvel thingy that actually was a gift from my husband, and he never really got around to looking at it. And I'm thinking about taking 20 minutes a day and just reading some of it so I can kind of get some of the history of the Marvel comics. Now it doesn't have their most recent years, of course, but
right.
Yeah, Bacon was an actor. The way they responded to actors, it was so funny.
And I don't know if you know this, but the band that was playing, do you know who that band was?
So gosh, what was the name of it? Because it said the name of it.
Old 97.
Yes, Old 97.
But do you know what the significance of the Old 97 band is?
I don't. Slated 7 just popped in and said, "What's up, buddy? Thought I'd come by and show some love. Keep up the grind."
What's up, Slated 7? I don't know who Slated 7 is. I'm wondering.
I don't know who it is either. So hello, Slated 7. Welcome in.
What's up, Slated?
I haven't seen your
Chamber,
name before.
Hi. James Gunn, that's his band in real life. So James Gunn is in a band.
Wait. Was he one of the characters playing?
He wasn't one of the characters, but that's his band. I didn't think so.
Okay. Yeah. I didn't think he was, because when I watched the new Rockstars breakdown of the holiday special, they talked about each person.
Yeah.
And he wasn't listed in one of them. So
yeah.
Okay,
but
that's cool.
His band in the real world, though.
That's cool.
So yes, alrighty.
Remove that. Okay, so next, Kevin Hogan, who is in our chat, our dear convention connoisseur, as I've liked to coin him as, brought us information about conventions in the area. He goes to so many, and I am so jelly because it has been 5 years since I've been to any actual convention, and it wasn't even a nerdy one. It was just a regular live streaming one for a really old app that Twitter owned called Periscope.
Wow.
That didn't last super long. It was like Vine, big hit, big gone,
Right.
kind of a thing. All right. So without further ado, here's Kevin Hogan's report.
Hello everyone, this is Kevin Hogan from Northern California with another episode of California Comic-Con Adventures. On the weekend of Saturday, November 26, 2022, our friends at Ohana Comic-Con visited the Woodland area. We got to see lots of our local friends of Northern California and their fun cosplays there. And they even visited the South Bay area of San Jose there on Sunday the 27th there. Ohana Comic-Con, as you know, visits a different city every weekend in California, up and down the state there. Their admission is very economical, usually less than $10 there, and it's a great chance to get to hang out with local friends there. Also going on in the Daly City area of the South Bay is the 38th annual Great Dickens Christmas Fair at the Cow Palace Arena there. They've turned the inside of the arena into a Victorian area streets of London there, with lots of local shops and restaurants there, lots of people in steampunk outfits, caps and gowns there and top hats there. It's very cool there. They have indoor selling Christmas trees there, ice skating rink there. It's a great, interesting thing to check out there. And we also finally saw a return of Comic-Cons to San Francisco with Fan Expo San Francisco, November 25th to the 27th there. They had a whole red carpet out there for cosplayers to walk down and take pictures on. We saw lots of creative outfits there from Squid Games, Godzilla, lots of Star Wars and Marvel and DC characters. It was very creative. We hope to see a lot more Comic-Con events returning to the San Francisco area there. And speaking of future events there, be sure to get those Santa Claus and Grinch outfits out ready for December the 10th. There is SantaCon in San Francisco there, so there'll be lots of walking around there. And also on that same December the 10th there in Sacramento is the Santa Parade there. League of Heroes Inspired will be in the Santa Parade. If anyone has a family-friendly cosplay they would like to show off and participate in, they're welcome to contact League of Heroes Inspired to be in the parade with them there. And also that same day in the San Jose area is the Christmas in the Park cosplay gathering there, right across the street from the San Jose Convention Center in the Cesar Chavez Plaza there. So that's a free cosplay gathering. And that Sunday, December the 11th there is the Merced Ohana Comic-Con, so that's a fun thing to hang out there. And that Sunday, December 11th is the Dreamscape Toy Drive Car Show and Cosplay event there. And also is your last chance to see Krampus there on Sunday, December 11th there in Napa. Well, thanks for watching. Hope you enjoyed the pics there, and we'll see you at the next Comic-Con.
Woohoo! Man. I thought I saw Mary Gibb on that flyer for OhanaCon.
Oh, you'd have to check it out.
That's pretty fantastic. I know she works with C. Andrew Nelson. C. Andrew Nelson has a production company, more like radio type stuff.
Okay.
Stuff you would listen to as opposed to stuff that you'd watch. And I know he's working on a project with Mary Gibbs right now. So, and okay. I know that C. Andrew Nelson also appears at a lot of the OhanaCons. So I'm wondering if that's how come Mary's going to be there.
Ooh, that's pretty cool. I haven't met her or spoken to her.
Oh, she is so cool.
As of yet. So cool.
We will cross paths one day.
One day more.
Oh, speaking of which, I don't want to make any official announcement right now, but we have something coming up hopefully in around the February area, speaking of cons. One of our good friends, I won't say too many details, but will be in the States. And we want to have a big party and con wrapped around that if we can make that happen. So
just keep aware that something may be announced.
February, keep it in mind. Yes. All right.
All right. So as we usually, do we have, guys, don't forget that on Wednesday, we have 2 shows that happen on this channel. Monday, we started a new upload. It's the Retro Alcove with Graveyard. He plays retro games. It's so cool. Last week was Mega Man. I know they're doing more, like all the Mega Mans. And so I'm very excited. Actually, he and I are going to be playing. My original love when I first started gaming is point and click adventures, like Myst and Riven, like the very old ones from like the 90s. So he and I are I have it remastered, and so we're going to be playing that.
As well. So does he play on a computer or on a game system or?
I don't know if you know this. He actually has a whole wall.
No, I know about all he. That's why I'm asking.
But
I
think he'll be playing it on the PC, but I'm not actually certain. Like my Mist Remastered is on Steam because it's a remastered version. You can play it either the classic way or you can play it in a more modernized way. Probably we'll just do classic.
I was gonna say he should compete with all the different hosts on their favorite retro game. So every host figures out what their favorite game was, and then he has to like battle them in that game.
That would be funny.
I would challenge him with Tony Hawk. That's my classic.
Like
game.
if I challenged him to Myst or something similar, it'd be like, okay, who finishes it faster?
Right.
Entirely, like because it's a puzzle game.
Right.
Goodness gracious, we have another one of those body bots, but thankfully it didn't go through. Okay. So guys, don't forget Wednesday morning with 10 a.m. gaming. I will be on. I'm not sure if I'll play Limbo yet. I died 95 times last week playing it.
I was watching that. I was like, wow, that felt like such a good. That went along with our theme for Hearts of Kyber for that week, which was depression.
I'm glad it went along with it. I was depressed at the end. And then also we have gaming at 10 a.m. Pacific, and then that evening 5 p.m. Pacific is PTSD is the topic for Hearts of Kyber this week. So make sure to keep an eye out for that. And of course, Friday night, our After Dark show at 8 p.m. Pacific, 18 plus recommended due to adult content and adult language being allowed. Adult language on this show is usually not permitted, although, none of us are perfect. Matt says, sounds like when I play Dark Souls. I hear that people do die a lot playing that game. I have never played it myself. I've actually never really watched much in the way of gameplay of it. So I really don't want to. I'm dying enough times in this game. So
I was gonna make a comment. You were like Doctor Strange in that last game.
Oh my goodness. Dormammu, I have come to make a bargain over and over and over again. All right, so we always close out our show with Talk of the Town. So without further ado, guys, have a good couple of days, and we'll see you on Wednesday and enjoy your... Yes, sir.
Don't forget to check out our Patreon. Remember, for as little as $1, you can help out this show. You can help us bring more and new content. You can help us get hair dye.
Challenges. Like my hair dye. And you get to see that stuff days before the rest of the viewers do see it.
And we have merch. Guys, we have the list of everybody. We're going to get it out here very soon. I apologize, guys. Just bear with us through the holidays. All right, now we're ready for the Talk of the Town.
All right, guys, thank you so much. Have a wonderful couple of days, and we'll see you later. Bye.
Peace.